This Prismatic Hunter build is extremely powerful, and if you're looking for a build that's going to keep you alive and shred enemies, this is a build for you. Getting started, we want to use the new Prismatic Hunter subclass. Now before we get into any of the moving parts, the two driving forces behind the subclass are going to be its aspects. Number one is going to be Stylus Executioner. Defeating a target affected by any elemental debuff grants invisibility and true sight. When I say that Stylus Executioner is the driving force behind this entire build, it's because Bungie changed the way Stylus Executioner works in PVE. Previously, you would have to weaken a target with a void weapon and secure a kill. This would activate Stylus Executioner. But with changes made to Stylus Executioner, you no longer have to weaken the enemy. They need to be affected by an elemental debuff. And those buffs are going to be Blind, Jolt, Scorch, Ignitions, Suppression, Volatile, Weaken, or Slow, Freeze, Sever, Suspend, and Unravel. Yes, there are a ton of debuffs that you can use now, which will activate Stylus Executioner. Our next aspect is Gunpowder Gamble. Defeat targets with abilities, elemental debuffs, or solar weapons. And again, those elemental debuffs are going to be the same exact ones that were on the Stylus Executioner. Now let's quickly cover the fragments. We have Facet of Dominance. Your Void Grenades weaken targets, and your Arc Grenades jolt targets. Our next fragment is Facet of Purpose. Picking up an Orb of Power grants either Amplified, Restoration, Frost Armor, Woven Mail, or an Overshield. The next fragment is Facet of Bravery. Defeating targets with Grenade Final Blows grants volatile rounds to your Void weapons. Defeating targets with powerful melee final blows grants unraveling rounds to your strand weapons. Next over, we have Facet of Blessing. Melee final blows start health regeneration, while Transcendent, melee final blows start health regeneration for you and nearby allies. Lastly, we have Facet of Generosity. Defeating targets while Transcendent creates orbs of power for your allies. If I had to say this build was anything, it's going to be the 3 S's: Survivability, Synergy, and Slayer. As for the super you want to run, I'm personally a huge fan of Silence and Squall. As for the super, it's whatever you want to use, whatever you feel more comfortable with. Now let's cover the abilities. Gambler's Dodge is a must, especially when it comes to recharging your melee ability. When you dodge near enemies, this gives you a full melee charge. Next over, we want to use Combination Blow. This is going to synergize extremely well with Facet of Blessing. When we get those kills with our melee, this is going to give us health regeneration. Lastly, when it comes to grenades, the best one I found for the Hunter subclass for this build is going to be the Magnetic Grenade. Getting into our exotic of choice, we have the Gerfalcon's Harbrook. This is going to have the exotic perk, See Me, Feel Me. Your void weapons gain volatile rounds after you emerge from being invisible. Now there's a whole bottom portion to this exotic perk. Is it necessary? Not really. You're only going to be utilizing the top portion. Your void weapons gain volatile rounds after you emerge from being invisible. This is going to synergize extremely well with Stylus Executioner. Now how does this build synergize together? We want to activate Stylus Executioner as much as possible, thus meaning we always want to have an elemental debuff ready to go. And for me personally, that was easily accomplished with the Riptide Fusion Rifle. This is in the kinetic slot and it is a stasis weapon. This one here, you're going to want the perk Chill Clip. Direct hits with the top half of the magazine causes a detonation that slows nearby targets. That portion right there slows nearby targets. That's going to activate Stylus Executioner. Now for those of you saying, Brave, I don't have a Riptide. First of all, you need to get your hands on a Riptide. It's one of the best weapons in the game, especially with the perk Chill Clip. The easiest way to get a Riptide is jump into PvP. Even if you're the worst player in the world, just finish the matches. Even if they're just rumble games and you get 0 kills, get some experience, get some engrams, and head over to Lord Shaxx and head over to his legacy gear. Get into the legacy gear and head over to the Riptide and literally just select all the way until you get a Riptide that has the perk Chill Clip. For those wondering, I will be making a video of the top 10 weapons that you need for PvE. So if you're enjoying today's video, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button and don't forget to like the video. Next over, let's get into our elemental weapon. You have a variety of options, but we're gonna make sure it has one perk, and that's gonna be the perk Repulsor Brace. Defeating a void debuff target grants an overshield that lasts for an improved duration. When I say that this build revolves around survivability, that is easily accomplished with the perk Repulsor Brace. The reason for that is when you get volatile rounds, this is going to be the void debuff that you need to activate Repulsor Brace. This is going to give you an overshield. So when you're about to die, just get an easy kill and you'll see your overshield go up just like that. For those looking to get a weapon with repulsor brace, you can head over to Banshee 44, head into his focus decoding, and grab yourself that Suro sidearm. I know a ton of you out there are sitting on a ton of gunsmith engrams, and just like that, I have a brand new sidearm with the perk repulsor brace. Maybe you're not a fan of sidearms, and that's completely fine. There are a ton of other options, and I'll put a few on screen now. Keep in mind that we do want a heavy weapon with the perk repulsor brace, and here are a few on screen now. Now, before I get into the gameplay loop, there are 3 mods you want on your armor pieces. Number 1 is going to be the Void Siphon mod on your helmet. Rapid Void Final Blows create an orb of power. Next over, we want the Void Weapon Surge. This is on the leg armor. Your Void weapons gain a small bonus to damage while you have an armor charge active. Lastly, on our class item, we want Time Dilation. Your decaying armor charge has a longer duration. And this is all going to synergize with our Void weapon. Now the gameplay loop is extremely simple. We want to activate Stylus Executioner once. Just one time. Now, when you run out of Stylus Executioner and you don't have Repulsor Brace active, then yeah, we want to reactivate Stylus Executioner. But to get the whole build started and the gameplay loop, you need to activate Stylus Executioner once. And this can be easily done with the Riptide. By getting kills with the Riptide, you're going to activate Chill Clip. This is going to slow nearby targets, thus activating Stylus Executioner. When you have Stylus Executioner active, when you come out of invisible, you'll activate the exotic perk on the Gerfalcon's Halbrook, which is going to be the See Me, Feel Me. This is going to give you volatile rounds. When we have volatile rounds active, our Void weapon will now give us an overshield when we secure a kill. At the same time, it will reactivate Stylus Executioner. Not only are you getting a full overshield, but you're also going invisible once again. Keep in mind that every time you get a Void weapon kill, you're going to activate Void Siphon. But what happens if you're out of special ammo and you can't use the Riptide? With the Facet Bravery, defeating targets with grenade final blows grants volatile rounds to your Void weapons, thus reactivating Repulsor Brace when we get a kill. On top of that, it will activate Stylus Executioner, and the gameplay loop begins once again. But you're probably wondering, well Brave, what if I don't have a grenade ready to go? That's perfectly fine, because we're going to be utilizing the Gunpowder Gamble. Yes, Gunpowder Gamble's grenade actually counts as a regular grenade. When you toss your Gunpowder Gamble grenade and you get a kill with it, this will reactivate the Facet of Bravery, thus giving you volatile rounds on your Void weapons. But say you can't activate Repulsor Brace, how do you get your life up? Well, that's really simple. You want to get a melee kill. This is going to activate Combination Blow, thus activating the Facet of Blessing. Melee final blows start health regeneration. Yes, by getting a melee kill, this is going to start health regeneration. Keep in mind that when you do get a kill with that melee, this is going to charge your class ability, giving you a brand new dodge if you didn't have one. At this point, you don't have a melee, but you have a dodge. All you need to do is dodge near enemies, and this will fully charge your melee, thus allowing you to reactivate Combination Blow if necessary. Now, something that a lot of people have been overlooking is that when you get a kill with Combination Blow, this does charge Gunpowder Gamble. So when you secure 2 kills with Combination Blow, you'll have a fully charged Gunpowder Gamble grenade. And for those wondering why I decided to choose Magnetic Grenade aside from all these other ones, is because Magnetic Grenade will deal a significant amount of damage, thus allowing you to activate the Facet of Bravery and charge Gunpowder Gamble. Yes, the Magnetic Grenade, when you secure a kill, will charge your Gunpowder Gamble. Lastly, we're going to be dropping a ton of orbs because of the Void Siphon. But now let's take full advantage of the Facet of Generosity. Defeating targets while Transcendent creates orbs of power for your allies. Not only are we going to be creating orbs with Void Siphon, but we'll be creating even more orbs with Facet of Generosity. Another reason we decided to use the Riptide is because it is a stasis weapon. When we secure kills with Riptide, it's going to charge the darkness side of our Transcendent. When we secure kills with our Void weapons, that's going to charge the light side of our Transcendent, thus meaning you'll have Transcendent active more often. When you have Transcendent active and you secure kills, not only are you dropping orbs with Void Siphon, but you're also dropping orbs with Facet of Generosity. Now, for those of you wondering, Brave, I want a Hunter Cloak that makes this build work. Go get a Hunter Cloak with the Spirit of Gerfalcon. That's gonna null and void the Gerfalcon exotic piece. Now, what other options should you go for? I personally like Spirit of Assassin. Finishers and powerful melee final blows grant invisibility. Yes, Spirit of Assassin will pair extremely well with Combination Blow. This is gonna help you go invisible. Is this build geared for massive amounts of DPS? Of course not. This build is geared towards more difficult content and ways to stay alive during that content. But let me know your thoughts down below. Are you going to be using this build? Or what is your favorite build? I would love to know. Hey, if you're looking for a Discord channel to chat with me and other Destiny players, you can find the link to the Brave X Hero community Discord down below in the video description. Thank you so much for stopping by. Don't forget to drop a like, share this video with your friends, and like always, enjoy the rest of your day.